Hi, I'm Julia Cordova. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. And I also want to thank you very, very much for being such wonderful, smart people. I was bragging on you to one of my people that I know in real life, and I was saying that my friends on Twitter are truly the funniest, smartest, best looking, good people ever. And I also want to apologize because you're going to hear my dog, one of my dogs, the entire time because it's raining outside. So he's afraid of thunder, and so he wouldn't want to. He just wants to be with me, and he's a loud breather. And I've got the ceiling fan on, so if you see me all looking like Beyonce wind machine, that's what's going on. But anyway, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about charts. All right. Here we go. So first, let's start off looking at ES Weekly. It's looking better than last week. Last week I was getting kind of afraid that it was starting to look reversal flaggy. It's still kind of doing something. But I would very much like to see it test this. Maybe it'll bounce right off 3,000 like it's an even number, and that would make sense at first. Whether that bounce would hold down is a whole nother story. But I would like to see a back test of the ambulance line because we've had some good interaction with it in the past. So I want to see how RSI behaves with it, and so that is what we've got going on this week. Here are the pivots that I'm watching. Somebody asked me to zoom in on them once, and I was like, that's a really good idea. Yet I have zero idea how to do that. So 3021-ish, I don't know. And then the bottom pivot that I'd be watching would be 2933. And if it gets out of that range, what it might, because these candles they've started to calm down a little bit. But I have a feeling that maybe we might start to get some stagnation, but we'll have to see. I don't know if it would explode higher from here or even just explode lower. It might just kind of keep hanging around a little bit, but we'll see, because this consolidation here has sort of given, RSI is not at all overbought on the weekly. Like, it's just kind of in the middle. It's almost exactly in the middle. So keep your mind open. I said that on Twitter, like, just, I see a lot of bulls and like all-time highs no matter what. And then I see also people that are like angry bears. They're just very angry people right now. And I get like that too. Whenever I make a trade that I may or may not have been right in making, but it goes against me, I get mad. But the truth is, like, I can't get mad at whatever I'm trading. I have to get mad at myself because I'm the one who's not making the right decisions. It's not the equity's fault. It's not the commodity's fault. It's my fault. So don't be angry, because if you're more angry, then you're going to just add to whatever bad position that you're in. And then it gets worse and worse. So I try not to be angry, but I'm worried that the angry bears, I'm not worried because I'm long right now, but the angry bears might in fact offset the euphoric bulls. And so in that case, the grind higher is the path of least resistance at this time. Yeah. So, okay. And even at this stage, these dips are looking all viable and stuff. But let's look at the daily. Okay, all right. Ooh, Eric. So we didn't quite bounce off of this Trampo line on Friday, but close enough. Pretty much close enough. I think there's an MA there too. So anytime there's moving average combining with one of my lines, that's like superpower. It's like super powery. And you know what I'm starting to see here is sort of a head and shoulders looking thing on RSI. It needs a little higher for a push, but I'm starting to see that. And this top of Eric's all-in line. So for those who don't know, Eric Trump tweeted, and I would be all in right here. And then some people are like, well, maybe he was right all along. Let's review the chart. No, he was not right all along. Just because it gets back to where he bought it, I don't know how many days later. No, he was not right all along. No. And also he deleted the tweet right about, I think here. I got to put this on the chart because it's going to be important later on. I'm sure of it. So I have to look that up. I have to look when he deleted that. But anyway, and I had said a couple weeks back, I was hoping that Eric would start his revenge short above this. And that's kind of, looks like he kind of did that already. Looks like it got above where he bought it from. He sold way down here. Well, he sold actually here. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but when he deleted the tweet, was right when he sold. But anyway, so I said he sold for like a slight loss somewhere in here, I think. But anyway, soon he's going to start a revenge short because he's going to be mad now that he didn't just stay long. Even though he stayed long all this time, he didn't stay long. So if that happens, I'll look for a hit of this pink line, and then we get past there. We go to the blue line. We get past there. I'll watch this level here, but I really want this dotted line. I really want it because it's just been so good in the past. It's not been perfect, but it's been good enough for me. Definitely good enough for me. Going all through in here. It's really, if it gets above, then we just say, okay, sayonara. But it's been good enough for me and I like it. So I'm looking for that. We'll see what happens. And I don't know when that would be. I don't know how long it takes to get there. But I'll have to see. So I'll just mark it way out here. Why not? Why not? And then this meow line, I named it after people who were calling the top of the dead cat bounce because I knew it wasn't a dead cat. You knew it wasn't a dead cat if you were following me. We knew it wasn't a dead cat. We felt strongly about that. And it wasn't. It was a pretty little bull flag that broke out, and then we had a nice back test and another back test. What? That's like saying, yeah, I was doubly right. And so forth. Okay. So yeah, it looks good. Right now I went long because I was looking at I didn't pull it up, but I think I posted on Twitter. I was looking at the 15-minute chart, and it looked like a triple top. And after a triple top, the next time, there's no such thing as a triple top. So anytime you see a triple top, you just put in a buy order right above, some value there around about. And then the fourth time, that's just how it happens. There's no such thing as a triple top. It's just after a double top, it's called resistance. Yeah, but I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure there's some charts that people did send me charts that are triple tops. That just makes it a rule. If there's an exception, yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's talk about gold. Okay. We had talked a long time ago about this gang of resistance. It's like a big old mafia gang of resistance. And it's eroded that again and again and again and again. And, is it bad that it's below it and it retested? Based on the number of times it's gone through it now, or through the band, it still looks very positive to me. It's kind of forming, like, I wouldn't say a flag, because if you look at this hole and relativity to the fabric part, it's not. I mean, I guess some people will call it a flag. It looks like a flag, but it looks more to me like a wedge on a stick. So if it, you could draw in the shape here if you're a gold trader and just say, okay, if it gets above this wedge, I'm going to buy it because this resistance has been eroded so long. The bottom one of these is 1739. Is that right? Yeah. The bottom one is 1739. So I would sort of, actually that's a good idea, right? If you were trading gold, you could set a buy order for above 1739. And then I would think, because it's been through these so many times, that would be the breakout, little whoop, right up there. Now, as far as RSI goes, I mean, this is actually quite bullish. But why do I say that when the RSI it bounced off resistance here? right when it bounced off of the pink line. Well, actually, like, yeah, it bounced off resistance here, and then bounced down from resistance. And so, yeah, if it gets back above, I would say this top one, because it's like a double resistance, then that would be looking good too. And I can't give you an exact value for that because I just don't know when it's going to happen. But like for this next 4-hour period, it would be an RSI on the 4-hour of about 46.19 or so. We're going to round up because we're cautious, good traders. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not trading gold, as I've mentioned a few times in the past. I'm just sort of holding it now because it's also looking a little cup and handly in it. Cup handle in the shape of a wedge. That's looking pretty good to me. And if it does come down, then I'll be looking to bottom catch the crap out of it. But right now I'm just kind of holding it. Let's see what happens. I'm not gonna, if I were trying to trade this, I'd screw myself over. I'm not a bad trader, right? I'm a pretty good trader, I think. But I'm not going to try to outperform this. Okay. Like, I'm not going to sit there and go sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. Like, that is not going to make me money. And that's just over trading. So I'm just going to wait and see if something interesting happens. Okay. Let's talk about silver, because silver is interesting. I like silver. We like silver. We did a good job on calling silver. So what are these black lines, these black magnet lines? I know there's lines everywhere. Just focus your eyes. Just pay attention to only what I tell you about. So I drew this magnet in way back when. We saw this inverse head and shoulders. Bull flag, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, it moved all my lines around. So this is why I don't like this map. But whatever. I drew the magnet in right about when we were actually pretty much down here. This is like the long-term breakout line, and look what it did. It corrupted all the data. This is why I'm glad that I'm OCD and I will draw in all the gaps and everything else. Just look at that data. It's just corrupt. But anyway, it's still good for me because as long as that's how I got all my beautiful gold lines. My beautiful pink gold lines, these two gaps. I just mark them off, and when this stuff happens to the data, I don't worry about it because I've got it all recorded. Anyway, so these magnet lines have been important for a long time. This is really like, as you can see, when price got above it, it broke the F out. So, yeah, it really did screw up all my lines, didn't it? Ugh, I'm not even going to fix that. I can't be bothered. Okay, anyway, when it gets, and this was also, the breakout, so to speak. Well, I mean, actually called the breakout right here, but it sort of stopped here and then broke out again, went to the key line, came down from the key line. How good am I? That was like really, but that was great. So anyway, right now I have a third of a position left. Why? Because again, I'm not that good of a trader that I can go buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So if I keep my third FOMO scale, that I will just feel more confident that if I took profit already, I've made money. If I screw up buying it down here or whatever, or if it does go back down, it's only a third that I've lost. So I feel like that's just like my insurance policy. I'm sorry, it's panting. I know that really bothers some people. That's okay though, because he loves me and I love him and I don't want him to be scared of thunder. So anyway, so my plan at this time is to wait until I hope it didn't offend him. He just went to the bathroom so that he can lie on the towel because it's hot. It is hot. Anyway, my plan at this time is to wait until price either retest these magnet lines, because that would be a buy, as Kramer would say, except for like I'm not going to yell it. Well, I might if you're not paying attention, but I do like this top magnet line because you can see this is not a gap because the wicks sort of cover up that space, but it's an area where price has not been voraciously tested. So voracious is the right word. Like it has not been completely tested. I don't know, but anyway, it would be a very nice area for silver to retest. And boy, if it went back to this bottom magnet line, that'd be like a super buy. But for now, I'm just sort of watching it to see if it'll hit one or both of these lines, or if this refuel here was just to shake some longs, and if it gets back above this key line, I'm gonna do that. Now this changes every day, so I'm just sort of picking. Let's do, but it doesn't change by much, so I don't know. So if it gets back above the 17.97 level, which is pretty much where I sold ish, I'll buy it again, because then it'll probably squeeze up to this next line, which is resistance of 1850 or so, depending on where we hit. But you know what I like about Twitter is because I look at I look at smart traders, and I don't know how, but somehow my numbers line up with theirs occasionally. And so when that happens, I consider that sort of like also when one of my trend lines lines up with an MA, I consider that like a sign. So anyway, my plan is to either buy here if it lines up, or here, or both. I might buy, I might buy one scale here and another scale here. I might buy one scale if it gets all the way down here and I decided not to do that, I'll buy both scales. But if I buy one scale here and then it bounces back up, I'll add the third scale if it gets back above the 17.97. And as I'm adding back, I'm going to be making sure that I don't lose money on the added stuff. So I'll be watching stops. And I may switch over to futures depending if I think it's really, I probably won't, I don't know, but I might switch over to futures just depending on whether or not I think it'll be volatile overnight, but I doubt it. It's either going to fly high like the sky, or it's just going to mess around. Because, you know, another thing is also when I post about silver, when I post about trading silver, when I posted about the, buying here, and then when I posted about selling here, people are like, if you just hold it, and guess what? They were saying the same thing here, here, and here. And then guess what it did? It went back down to here. So I'm sure I'm holding it in my investment account, but as far as trading goes, my job is not to buy it and hold it while it breaks the F down. And so you can see here, this is sort of the same thing I was talking about. That's right here. It's one of these kind of like, I think that's why, that line's been there. But that, it's going to go back and probably put a candle body or more there. So there's a little bitty one right here, but if it's a little bitty, I don't worry as much. There's a little bitty here, but then see how many wicks covered that. So it's like, Anyway, I'm watching it. We'll watch it together. I'll let you know if I see anything interesting, but that's my plan. So I don't know what your plan is, but that's my plan. All right. Let's talk about crude. I'm sorry. I don't know. I've not been sleeping well, so I'm a little tired. Okay. Let's talk about crude. So this is the weekly, and it's been performing really well. It broke above our key line here, and you see this is the week so far. You can see the week's not been very big. So it's sort of been like a lot. Oh, let me get rid of those things. It's going to bother me. Okay. So the weeks have sort of been like bigger, less big, less big. That's okay though. It's grinding. It's grinding up. There's a gap here at 36.35. So a gap like this is usually great resistance at first, but that's also then, so that might be a good short opportunity the first time it hits. And then the next time it hits, we'll have to see, or, this is the same thing we did in ES, right? Sorry. So then the next time it hits, it might be a great opportunity for a scalp long. And usually, if you've been trading for any period of time, something doesn't just like fill a gap right away. Usually it almost fills the gap and then comes back down and like screws with people, and then it goes and it fills it. That's usually what happens. I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I'll start watching it because now it's looking a little bit less abysmal. I'd love for it to back test this key so I can try to get in a little bit. And I might do it via some oil stocks. So maybe I'll post some charts of some oil equities. I might. Yeah, because if it back tests this key line, it should also be back testing this resistance. Okay, so that's the weekly. I mean, not resistance, support. See what I'm doing, y'all? I'm just out of it right now, but I'm trying because I know some people really do like to see me, like to see my thought process. Okay, so this is the oil 4 hour. We had some divergence here, and we haven't quite had divergence yet, but if I see another point of divergence, I really like 3 points of divergence on oil. You know, it's weird because sometimes I'll talk about divergent bottoms and it'll be just 2 points, but on my oil 4 hour, I like my 3 points. I do. I don't always get them, but when I get 3 points of divergence, I feel super comfortable with my next trade. And I like super comfortable because that means that it's a good idea. So anyway, yeah, so far we broke above the key. I talked about that last week. We back tested it, which is great. Oh, what's this? What's this? There's like a gap here that I didn't mark off because I haven't really been trading oil. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, let's do this real time so I don't forget. Like that. And I'll put the magnet on so I don't do anything. Oh, I didn't even see that before. Oh, that's exciting. Because, you know, I don't have enough lines on here. Okay. Ooh, that's really exciting. Okay. That's good. I like that. Okay. So we'll see whether or not we can, because if we get another point of divergence, then we have a target. Ooh, lovely. All right. Now let's talk about natural gas, nutty. So it looks like it gapped up, but it didn't. This is just a contract roll. So it rolled. I don't know why too. My broker made me start trading. I've been trading this contract for, I forget which one it is because I'm like out of it right now. Sorry. Anyway, it was a contract roll. So even though the price on this chart makes it look like it gapped up, and even though my values, like my lines, are still accurate, now there's a big ass gap here. Now, does a big ass gap mean that we fill it right away? And not necessarily. You know how I know that? Well, how, Julia? Okay, I'll show you. I'm starting to get a headache. Okay, because there's a big ass gap right here at 271-ish. So this big ass gap, it was like an abandoned, I don't think it's an abandoned baby. I think the abandoned babies are like in reverse. But I think it's, what is an abandoned mom, abandoned dad, abandoned car? I don't know. But this gap has been here for a while. And so it didn't get filled right away. I don't know if it was caused by, you know, I mean, there's 2 of them, right? Because it's abandoned. But I don't know if the second one was caused by a contract roll or not. And it's irrelevant. The point is that gaps are nice to, you know, mark off. You can see one here that finally got filled here, and then it, you know, more. But they're nice to mark off, but they don't necessarily fill right away. So if it does fill right away, if it does just, like I said before, I wouldn't expect it to make the whole fill in one candle. I think it would kind of go, and then kind of be annoying. And I hope it doesn't do that because I don't like annoying. I like not annoying. But we'll see. So it's still, like I've been saying all along, the best thing to do would be to wait until this key level. And you can see in this case, broke out, came back down, even back tested it, give people an opportunity to get out on the key line. And then just like, because it was a false breakout over the key, went all around. So that's good in a way because it means the next time it goes above the key, it's less likely to be a false breakout. Well, there's that. Now, I don't know if it would go wah to the sky. It might kind of like do this first and then go. But it'll be better above the key. It'll be more bullish because if you look at the bigger picture, and by the way, if you're a new trader or just anybody who doesn't enjoy like fuckery and pain, I would just be very careful trading natty. I have special trading rules. I do half scales. Like I do all these weird things. And I also, you know, if I get into a bad position, I can sort of hedge myself with futures. And I know that a lot of people can't do that. So just, be careful, watch things. Okay. So, and maybe, eventually it's possible that we get back up to that piggy line. That would be really high. But you know what? It's possible. It's possible. I think we'll wait. Let's get above this mini key first. It's 1.985. Then we'll get above. If we get above there, we'll look to get above the mini pig. We get above that, we'll level to level. But anyway, so right now, I have been trading it, but I haven't been announcing every trade just because it's so to people. But if it gets above here again, I will say something. I just don't feel that I'm leaving you out because I'm not telling you every trade just because it's risky, and I don't want you to be. I don't want to tell you risky stuff. I want to tell you good stuff that has good probability of happening, right? Because that's how I can help you. Or whoever. I don't know. I'm tired. Okay. Oh wait, let me make it full screen again. Okay. So thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. And I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything. And I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye.